one of the 42 ideals of Ma'at. My mother is nature. My father is time. I am a Neski queen.
Hey everyone, we are back. It is the second Thursday in March, so here we are having our episode 8 of season 2, Be More Mindful podcast. I'm your host, Aneski Anna Kimsat. Aneski literally means she belongs to me. So for the next 45, 60 minutes or so, I appreciate you for having me in your space, as well as my guest. I have a few guests with me tonight, y'all. I got with me my guest, Unique Robinson, Unique the Word Robinson, and I can't wait to hear her speak. I also got with me guest engineering, my guy Dancing Barry in the back, y'all.
What's good, Hibble?
And it's all family number, family love, and my man Tony, the videographer back there. He's just chilling. He working on some things right now. He cutting it up and doing what he do in the kitchen. So we're gonna let him cook. So this is a really special addition to me, you all. So I really wanted to make this really live and really hype because the person, the guest, the friend, the sister, the soul that I have on my show today has been so influential in my life, not just personally, but to my art, also to me as a business person, as a Baltimorean, as a City Night alumni. Like all of that, she means so much to me, and I feel like our interaction was destined to be. And I finally have her on in season 2. My guest, Unique the Word Robinson. Oh man, this is where the applause come in. See you five, Barry. That's it. That's it. You're just here for the show. No, but and yes, Unique the Word Robinson. There we go.
Sorry.
Delayed, better late, but that better late than never. But I'm gonna let her tell us what it is she does and how what she does help her cope with any mental and social barriers. Unique, you have the floor.
What's happening, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? Unique Robinson, Unique Michael Robinson, Unique Michael, all those names. Unique the Word. I'm all that. So very grateful to be here. Thank you, Aneski, to the big homie for having me, man. Like it's been a long time coming for this one. So if we starting off on that question, or am I starting off just saying like who I am and all the things?
Yeah, just go. I mean, look, you as a facilitator, you kind of, you know how it go. You're just gonna introduce yourself. I just need you and tell us what it is that you do as best you can, if you could sum it up possibly, and then just let us know how doing those things help you cope with any mental or social barriers in life.
All right, say less. So what I do is it can't really be contained. I do a lot of shit, but I will say that I'm a poet, performer, educator, MC, facilitator, daughter, granddaughter, Baltimorean, Sagittarius, professor at Micah and other places. Yeah, artists, all around artists. I do a lot of experimentation with art, sound art, music production, playwrights, movies, you name it. I'm doing it because God told me I could, and can't nobody tell me no. So that's kind of in the nutshell my artistic realm. I'm kind of in the middle of everything, low key. But what I do to take care of myself, I mean, Lord have mercy, it's a trying time right now for everybody, everywhere, myself included. I think personally and globally, we are all collectively experiencing what I call chaotic order. It is a chaos that leads to order.
That part.
We are not going to be stuck in the chaos. The chaos is meant to transmute a lot of the shit that has just been bubbling underneath the surface and destroying the unity that we all truly have, and the perception of that. So what I do to bring it on back to me is I got a toolbox that I've learned over the last 4.5 years that works very well for me. And those things look like journaling as a writer. It's a cornerstone of just letting go of stagnant emotions, helping me to see things that I might not, readily see or understand. Like, I think writing and processing those things helps. I take walks in the woods. I shut my phone the fuck off. I shut the fuck up. I don't listen to nothing but the trees and God, okay, and the birds, okay. I go on walks. I listen to music. I dance. I cry. Okay, we need to fucking cry. I go to comedy shows. I write poetry. I write raps. I talk to the homies. I got a great, excellent, amazing support system. I'm so grateful to say that I do. My partner, my best friends, my homies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think all of those things kind of are in my toolbox. There are others, but meditation is definitely also a cornerstone.
Yeah.
Because as a person that experiences anxiety, it helps me to realize I'm not my thoughts, and I can see that in real time, and it helps me to calm and center myself and my being. So all of those practices, because they are practices, I'm gonna tell you right now, those things did not come easy. I was not taught those things. I had to learn those things and why they were beneficial to me, right? So somebody coming from the hood, from Baltimore City, from West Baltimore, from the fucking projects, right? Like, they don't teach us meditation in the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Definitely not in the 90s, you know?
Right.
I'm from Lexington Terrace, right? Like, my family from Southwest Baltimore. My dad's side is from Fulton and Saratoga, right? Row House. Like, my mother's side from Lexington Terrace. Like, I'm from the fucking hood, right? But we are learning our tools to be better versions of ourselves. And I'm blessed to have learned those tools as life has continued on throughout every obstacle. The obstacle is what showed me these tools. So I see the purpose of it. So all that long-winded way of saying, I told you what I said, just what we do.
Right.
I do those things.
That's what's up. Yeah. You just said, I was just caught up when name all of the things that you named. Of course, we share those things, those characteristics, those actions, and like you said, growing up, I just was thinking of growing up in the 90s. I'm like, I didn't hear these things until I was in my 20s. I didn't really get into these things until I was in my 20s, which was well after the 90s. So it's true. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, wow, just the thought of if I would have been engaged in those things in those years, I was sitting there just caught up in the things that I had went through. Had I, known about meditation and self-care and, all of the things that needed, the confidence and things that I needed, I just was just saying, like, where things could have been. But not to say I regret anything, but it definitely makes a difference in the decisions I make, the things that I do, the people that I'm around, and even down to the things that I eat, having that knowledge. And that's one of the things I'm grateful for this platform, is the ability to just start getting it out there and getting a network of people who can relate in similarity and pushing that this is something that we need to reintroduce to society, these actions, these practices, meditation and eating right and all of that, and being mindful. This is what the platform is all about. So I thank you for that intro. That's a great segue. So we can get ready to get really into the conversation. For those of you who are joining us, if you've never joined before, as anyone who comes in knows, that Be More Mindful podcast is an open forum. It's an open platform that tries to produce productive conversations about mental and social barriers. And we use the cultural arts as a way to express these things, and also hopefully come up with solutions with dealing with mental and social barriers. So anyone who's ever joined, if you follow the tick across the bottom, we go by 4 little guidelines. LOVE. L means listen to one another. O is openly express ourselves. V is view our thoughts independently, and E is end in peace and love. So if you can abide by those 4 little etiquettes, it's going to be a great show, an awesome conversation. So now let's get into this show's topic. This show topic came about because lately I have just been in such a state of just dream catching, literally just dream catching. And it had me thinking about growing up, we weren't really encouraged to dream. To be honest, we weren't encouraged to dream. And then I thought about it, and I was just like, dang, even sleep dreaming and all of that is just something that as a culture I feel like we have gotten away from, mainly because first off, sleep deprivation is prominent in the cities because we have moms and dads that are working 2 and 3 jobs, so getting a proper night rest is something that is hard to come by. And also we live in a city where nightlife is encouraged, so even the rhythmic, I forget what the word I'm trying to say, but even the pattern of sleeping is discouraged to to do so more, so to hang out and be, especially when you're young. And I was like, man, now that I'm older, I'm starting to really make sure that I take sleep seriously, not just physically but also mentally and emotionally. And so I got to really thinking on that, because I'm just like dream catching right now. Like the doors are opening and visions that I've seen are starting to manifest. And I just wanted to bring it to light. So this week topic, I came across a quote by a Greek writer, Heraclitus. I do believe is how to pronounce it. And the quote is, even a soul submerged in sleep is hard at work and helps make something of the world. And now, mind you, I grew up Christian, so we were always taught, the scripture of when night comes, no man can work. And this quote stood out to me instantly, because this is something that I felt like, this is just interesting. It says, even a soul submerged in sleep is hard at work and help make something of the world. And so, with all of that, I say that to say, I think that we should really revisit the power of sleep. Again, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. We should tap into what happens when, we are sleeping. First off, when you think of sleeping physically, as we all know, your body is getting rest that is needed. Your muscles are starting to relax. Your blood flow can go through your body with ease, and so we get that. That's really on the surface of what sleeping does. But just coming into digging into learning that when you're asleep, your body is also rejuvenating. It's reinforcing itself. It's taking this time to build up, and muscles and in areas that it cannot do while you're woke, because you're working, you're moving. And so that gets deeper, even down to the thought of when you're asleep, you're dreaming. And when you're dreaming, you are in the beginning stages of manifesting your desires, the things that you want to have and want to partake in life. And so it was just like, oh gosh, sleep is real. It's like it's real. We should, no way should we overlook the importance of sleep mentally, physically, and emotionally. I know you can speak up. You can speak on.
Take your time. Take your time. So, no, I deeply agree with that statement. I'm a firm believer in getting your rest. I am not of that team hustle, team grind, team no sleep. That shit is killing people. Okay, fuck all that. That is a very capitalistic, very patriarchal view of the body as a machine and the body as labor. Mm-hmm. And it comes from a place of greed. It comes from a place of there's never enough, which is all ego, right? So there has to be a balance. So as someone, if we're consciously practicing this thing we call decolonization, everybody want to throw that word around, decolonize this, decolonize that. If we are decolonizing our bodies as people who are descendants of Africans who were enslaved, then that means that we also need to check what the fuck that means, right? Why are we still in this mentality of we need to work as though we are working ourselves to the bone and we are working ourselves to the grave? People are trying to like 40, 50 years old. What the fuck? Okay, very perfectly what we call healthy people.
That's
are
right.
dropping at 40, 50 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know what's happening mentally, emotionally, physically that's causing these things to happen, but it is a real live situation. And that's across the board. And so I'm definitely a student of Trisha Hersey, right? Rest is Resistance, the Net Ministry. I read that book like the Bible, okay? Because especially as a Black woman, right? We are socialized to labor, right? We are never given the luxury. She has a quote where she's like, every future that people imagine about Black women in some capacity still has Black women laboring. There is not a future that says Black women can rest, that y'all can daydream, that y'all can just chill in the grass all day. Ain't none of that. It's like, what are you doing? Even, the well-meaning white folks who are like, let's listen to Black women, let's stay with Black women. They have the answers. They know what to do. Sometimes we don't want to do shit. Sometimes we don't want to do shit. All right, can we have a luxury to not do shit? You know that. So I am very much so of that. And I come from, a family of hustlers, a family of workers. My grandmother retired at 75 years old. Okay. As a school teacher, Baltimore City Public School System. She retired from Walbrook. All right, she a soldier.
Wow.
Don't play with us. But work was always a pride thing, right? It's like, I got this job, I'm doing it, I'm getting it done, I'm getting shit done. That's what we respect as society. That's what we respect in Baltimore City. It's a cultural thing. I get that. I'm with that, right? Because what is also underneath that is we are a people who were forgotten about, who were neglected, who had to fend for ourselves and make hustles and make something out of nothing. That's how you get the hack man. That's how you get the A-rapper. That's how you get the homie selling your batteries and your fucking socks and your sunshades, who I always support, right? We get all of those sort of economies. But when the fuck do we rest? When the fuck do we have time to spend with our families, to spend with ourselves even, right? And so I have been, especially since reading Rest is Resistance, which I think everybody should read, been taking those moments to rest, to sleep. I remember my grandmother sitting in her rocking chair at 6 p.m. nodding the fuck off because she had a long ass day, right? Those were her moments of that. For me, it looks like if I had a long ass day at work, which I often do, or even changing the way that I work, right? Some days I know they're going to be hella intense. The beginning of my week is usually very intense as a professor because I have classes and I'm a director of a whole master's program at Micah. So I have to be very on in the beginning of the week. So the last half of the week, you know what I mean? I'm like, y'all ain't gonna see me. I'm chilling. I'm working from home. I'm doing what I need to do in that capacity. Or some days I'm just like, I don't want to do none of this shit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to it. I know it's there. I trust myself to finish it, but it ain't the fuck going to be today because I'm following what my body needs. We don't listen to our body.
Right.
If my body is saying, girl, I can't do this today. I need you to relax. I'm not like, I'm ignore that and then keep going because in 2 weeks, my body going to be like, girl, I'm sick. Now I really can't do shit.
Yeah.
Now make you sit your ass down.
That part. That's what I said. You don't have no choice. And then you shut down. And
right.
So I'm guilty of that. So, and I'm glad that you speak because there you go the word. I'm so guilty of it. And it's hard. It's hard breaking yourself out of it. And I had to tell myself the same thing you're telling. We have to break that curse of we are meant to work ourselves to the grave. I told my children every day. I told them early this morning, I'm not working myself to no grave. I'm not doing it. It's not for me, and we need to get ourselves out of teaching. First off, one of the things that I've come to learn as what we do in low income homes is that first off, we tend to make work look bad from the beginning. And we forget that we must work. It's just, I don't care. Even a drug dealer has to get up and break down that crack, put it in the pill, and get on the block. It's work. So if we change the way we think and understand that it's about providing, so that's that. Now you've taken out of the slave concept straight off of the bat. Because now you're not looking like I'm going because I'm going to go do this for this man, but now I'm going to go do something for my children. And then the one thing that we were never taught is to go and find something that you would love to do.
Yeah, that.
We're not taught to go find, they say what you want to be. They give you a test and they say, oh, based off of these numbers, they say you should be a nurse. And the whole time you should be a security officer.
Right.
So
Or
we go through these waves and changes because we have not understood that we are to live our life as we desire, which is the ability to provide for our family, being able to do so in the way that we love to do it. If we stop saying that, I got work to take care of these kids, then you know what I mean, we might be able to get some rest because we won't feel so stressed. You understand? But again, it goes to changing the mindset. We have to make sleep become a priority. And sometimes we have to take and sit the people that we see that's not getting the rest. We have to take the time and make them get the rest. Or else the next time we see them rest, it might be a final rest. Okay. And I know plenty of aunts and uncles. My mom's the youngest of 15. It's probably 4 left. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong on the count. But out of the 15, I know that many of my aunts and uncles left a tool life. You understand? And it's just like, we got to know when to break the chain. That generation is not, it's not for us. We don't have to. They talking about the life expectancy for our black male is 45 years. Why was he either in jail, dying, or dying on the street, or he done worked himself to death? Exactly. We have to change our mindset and understand rest, and we have to make it be in the households down to. I mean, we like, again, we are taught that Friday night we taught to get off work and go out and hang out to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, take a 3-hour nap, and get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and go to work. Right. That ain't that. Wonder why you got an attitude, and why when you was at the club you got pissed off and smacked the shit out of somebody because you was a little unrest. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You don't even understand the mental effect it can have. Those of us who have been classified or diagnosed, or however you want to say it, with any type of ailments, one of the first things they'll say is you need to eat right and get rest, proper sleep, proper eating. Those are the first 2 things that are posed to even the thought of doing better or feeling better without even offering medication. Right, exactly. It's fucking free. So yeah, I mean, I think to that, right? Like, there is an element of providing, right? There is a pride to work and to labor. And I will say I am fortunate to be in the generation, especially in my bloodline, that is doing what I love. I don't know a lot of people in my family that can say that, even in my generation. Motherfuckers got, when we was taught, get you your good, secure government job, work at Social Security, you're going to be set for life. That sounded like a nightmare to me, first and foremost. I was like, I want none of that. Like, the little career thing in high school that I filled out, City Forever, said every 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade year said poet. And they looking at me like, how you gonna make money? I was like, I don't know, but I know that's what I want to do, right? And so now we're talking about a whole other element called purpose, right? Your job is not just your job. Your job is also can be your purpose. Now, your purpose did not have to be your job, but for me, my job is a part of my purpose. It is not my purpose, but it is a part of the larger piece of it. I think the larger purpose of mine is to assist and inspire and support artists as I am inspired. But I think my job is in the middle of that, right? And so, and to be creative as fuck. And so I think with that, I'm grateful that I was able to take the work ethic from my father, from my mother, from my grandmother, and really like go hard with it, but apply it to something that I believe in. Because let me tell you, younger me, 20-something-year-old me, it took me a while to get here. Don't get me wrong. Like, when I first got fresh out of college, I was living in New York City, in Brooklyn, working as a community organizer, 60 hours a week. I'm 21 years old. And I mean, that was real ass work, like 300 calls a night, calling the membership base, trying to get them to come to meetings or, what's going down. Like, it was a real ass job. Okay. And so it was dope. Taught me everything I need to know, but that shit burnt me out. I was like having breakdowns every 3 months. Like, the job, the physical space was in between 2 bars. And, as an organizer, like, that's how you blow off steam. You go out after work and you drinking, you taking shots with your homies, you flirting with the bartender, all that shit, right? I did it all. And so it made me an alcoholic. Now we got a whole other fucking problem, right? Like, so
what I'm doing to now relax is now causing me trauma and drama over here, right? So there's some things I've had to undo, some lessons I've had to learn that have brought me here, lessons around burnout, lessons around how much I just go,
Right.
And don't pause, right? Like all of that has led me to this place where I'm like, I need to pause. I need to listen to my body. I need to rest, right?
Yeah.
And rest is not to me always just sleeping. Sometimes, like I said, rest is just sitting in the woods and listening to nothing, listening to the birds, listening to the water. Sometimes rest is sitting in my damn car, right? And just
Right.
that sigh, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, I started meditating at work. Y'all can't fucking tell me I can't do that, So like all of those things I think equate to that. And so I think it creates a better quality of life for when you are working, when you can do it in that way and not the way that you feel you are forced to do it, because that feels very violent. And I'm done doing violent shit.
Right. No, listen. And I'm glad that you are touching on meditating, especially because just on the subject, right? A lot of people refer to meditating as in reference to just prayer, but sometimes meditating can just be in that space of daydreaming, just putting yourself in that realm where you're just in between, the physical and the metaphysical, and just resting there, finding yourself, reaching out and touching the things that you desire to have. And that's what meditating can be. It doesn't, always have to be religious or even hard on necessarily about problems or issues, or sometimes you can meditate just by drifting off, into space and being in your world, and that is important to do. And that's, that's an awesome segue. That's I love the way the conversation is going, and I'm hoping that our viewers are getting a lot out of it, and understanding that, again, we as a people, we need to revisit the concept of sleep. We really do. We need to make sure that we make it a part of our daily repertoire, not just for physical rest, but also even emotional rest. Sometimes, to be honest, I have had anger issues. I be so mad and rage and roar and go to sleep and wake up and feel so much better, because truth be told, what may have caused me to go into a rage is that I was tired and overwhelmed, and my body needed to rest. Yeah. So, this is a great segue again about resting and going into meditation, allowing your body to go into a relaxed state, and just being in the in between, and what I want to call like, in space, but I don't want to think that I want you to literally be in space, but be in between your physical self and that which is beyond what you can touch. Right. And so we're going into my next segment, which I like to call experts versus experiences. And so, as you all know, I do not have any degrees, although Unique does have degrees. Hers is not in the realm where we can give medical advice. So at any point, anyone that feels though that they are overwhelmed or dealing with anything that is too much for them to deal with, I always encourage you to seek professionals. We are not here to be medical advisors. We're just here to have a conversation and speak on things that we can relate to, and I feel like we need to talk about. And so we're going into experts versus experiences, and this is where I read an article or some type of journalism referring to the topic, just to see what these people who go and spend all this money on these degrees have to say about dealing with mental health and social life and urban life. And I like to compare that to my experiences, because I've been on this earth for a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, y'all, but enough. And I have a couple of diagnoses that makes me feel like I could talk about it. So this week's experts versus experiences, I'm coming from, and I like as an author and publisher, I love to cite what I'm reading from. I'm coming from timesofIndia.indiatimes.com. Okay, and this is a blog, and it was written on January the 11th, 2023, which was just last year, 2 years ago. I'm sorry, y'all, about 2 years ago. And the title of it is Unlocking the Power of Dreams. discovering the importance of dreams and emotional, psychological, and physical well-being. Okay, and so this article was written by Balveer Singh Tomar. I hope I'm pronouncing them right. And he could be reached at Dr. B.S. Tomar. Again, you guys, I always cite my references if you ever want to go back and check them out. Eventually, I'm going to get to the point where I learn how to post them in the comments. But I mean, other than that, yeah, you guys go back and hear it because these are good articles, and I encourage you to go back and read for yourself. You don't have to take my word for what I'm saying. Read for yourself. You may get something out of it in your own way. So, in the article, I'm going to go down to a paragraph, and it was a very straightforward article about comparing dreaming, the importance of dreaming, and how it affects us emotionally, physically, and psychologically. And I wanted to zoom in on this one thing that I feel is like it's so important for us to know. I don't know if we know this when we're dreaming about, because we grow up in the hood, we really taught like, dreaming can, it's be far-fetched, but believe it or not, dreaming can probably be one of the most powerful things you can do. It says dreams also play a role in our physical health. Studies have shown that REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, the stage of sleep during which most dreaming occurs, is essential for the restoration and repair of the body. REM sleep is associated with increased blood flow to the brain, which can help to nourish and support neural function. Additionally, REM sleep has been shown to play a role in the regulation of hormones such as growth hormone and cortisol, which can affect metabolism and immune function. Another importance of dreams is creative inspirations. Many famous artists, writers, and inventors have attributed some of their best ideas to dreams. Dreams can be a powerful source of inspiration as they can help to unlock the unconscious mind and allow for free association and non-linear thinking. It is often said if you want to solve any problem or if you're stuck in your creative project, let your mind wander and dream about it. The solution will come to you in a dream. And so I try to normally keep it to one paragraph, but I thought it was very important to read both paragraphs because back to back, it shows the parallelism. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it shows that how the physical and psychological connection between dreaming. Like not only does dreaming help you physically restore your body, it helps your immune system, it revitalizes you physically, even to your blood flow, but it also allows you to find answers to problems and also help you come through whatever creative blocks or even initiate a creative thought. And so it's like, I want to say, because my point is that, growing up in the hood, we're taught not to really hold on to our dreams. And my message is here to dream daily, but I want to say not to just dream, because dreams are initiation for goals, but plan. Once you have a dream, and make sure it is an obtainable goal. Once you have a dream and you dream of something and you know in your heart that you can obtain it, because first off, if you can see it here, you can do it in real life. So it's like, once you see that goal, that dream that you want to reach, plan to reach it and take the steps forward. And I promise you, as sure as I sit here with a camera and a mic, you will be able to accomplish any dream. We need to stop shooting down the dreams of our future, the dreams of the hood, our children. We need to stop shooting down their dreams because we never know. I think we have gotten away from investing in dreams, investing in things that are obtainable. I think we've gotten so caught up in, just saying, oh, it's over. We need to give up. Nothing can be reached. We just in the hood. We supposed to work till we die. There's nothing more than this but a 40-hour paycheck. And I'm not, I got to make sure I keep Social Security going because I can't be nothing more than what these people told me. And for those who never even make it to that concept, I just might as well get used to being in the streets or get used to being locked up, because my dreams, my aspirations, the things that I want and I desire, I'm told I can't reach, So I want to say that I think we need to encourage dreaming again, encourage positive goal setting. When people speak of the things that they get, all the haters, like, let's just stop hating. Stop telling people what they can't do and tell them what they can do. If you see someone that sees that they want to do something, instead of telling them, well, you can't do that, tell them, hey, well, you can if you do this, or you can, and these are the steps. And maybe even sit down and tell them, say, hey, I'll help you. Let's come up with a plan. Can we get that going in our families and our communities? When we see our children doing some of the smallest things, like instead of just, wanting to beat on them for banging on pots and pans, give them some drumsticks or give them something and teach them how to drum it out. You never know, they could be the next Timothy Fletcher. You understand what I'm saying? We need to stop shooting down the dreams when we see our kids playing basketball and all that. Instead of saying, oh, I can't afford for you to go get on the basketball team, we borrow money for everything else. Go find 5 family members to put up $10 and get him on the team, because we just don't know. We just don't know. If we stop encouraging dreams, to me, we're putting a stop at the possibilities of our future. That's that point. But I mean, you tell me, because I mean, your accomplishments are up there, and it's like you've done things that I aspire to do, and I do it, and I say that in the most humble way, because that's another thing. You give me hope. When we shut down dreams, and when we start to hate on what other people are doing, we shut down the ability for hope for the next person.
That's right.
And it's like, when I see you do the things you do, I'm happy that you've done them, because you've paved the way. And now, the ways and things that I'm not able or haven't been able to do. Now I have someone to follow, and so, even now, like this is my guy. I tell him all the time, I'm so inspired by him. He inspired me since we met with God. We going to like 2019. Sorry. So like, he inspires me. He inspires me as a business owner. He inspires me as a content creator. He inspires me as a creative period. When he first said, he's like, I'm doing sunglasses. And I'm like, what? I'm just going to do sunglasses.
I need some shades.
Listen, when I tell you, he popped out with him. But what I love about this guy is when he says he's going to do something, he does it. He said, I'm coming out with some sweatpants. I'm like, what? You got him in a size small. But it inspires me, because then now when I have an idea, when I have a dream, I have a thought, I'm like, I can. And I will.
That's right.
You know, and so it's like, you're welcome to jump in anytime, because like,
for sure.
I know as a person, I'm gonna put it out there, as an astrologist, a star whisperer.
I like that. I'm gonna start saying that instead.
Star whisperer, I know you really understand the aspect of dreams.
So with that, I just love this topic. I just gotta say, and speaking of astrology, it is Pisces season. I gotta shout out. I'm a Sag, but I have a Pisces moon, right? So that Pisces moon tempers the Sag shit. Because I can really fire the fuck off like on a daily basis. But the Pisces be like, yo, chill, we don't need to do that. Like, we could just solve this peacefully. Like, it's that, right? So the Pisces moon, having that moon is so interesting, because what it does is it gives me permission to dream. It gives me permission to be creative. It's given me a sort of metaphysical understanding of the world and the universe that, it just gave me permission to do that at birth. right? Like that energy was coded in me. And so, you know, couple that with the Sag that is like, bitch, I'm about to dream big as fuck. Like, y'all cannot tell me. I do not see the ceiling. I do not see the limits, bitch. I'm going, right? That to me is, you know, and then, you know, because to me, astrology is just kind of like feeding the energies of the personalities and the events that are sort of set in one's life. That's a whole other podcast for another time. But seriously,
that's right.
so part two. But my mom, I have to give credit to my mother, Carla Singletary. Shout out to her, because she was the one that told me to dream. My family, God bless my family. My family did not have the luxury to dream. As I told y'all, I'm come from sharecropper South. Okay. My grandmother is the daughter of a sharecropper. She was one of 10 children. Okay. North Carolina. Like they were working. They didn't have time to dream. Right. My mom's generation in the hood, in Lexington Terrace, in the projects, right? Like they didn't have time to dream. They didn't have time to decide who else they wanted to be. It's almost like their lives were prescribed for them, right? Like, and they lived in an era, in a decade where the pickings were slim, right? The opportunities were slim. And so who they saw, who they emulated was based on, you know what I'm saying, who was fly, right? My uncle saying he wanted to be a gangster when he grew up, and he followed that whole path, and then incarceration and just toxic stress and systemic racism and all the shit that stops people's dreams and shoots their dreams down. My uncle was a fucking creative, right? My family is a family of creatives. They are musicians. They are very talented. They are singers. They are all of these things. My dad's side got hella creatives. They couldn't use it. They weren't in the generation where they could use their creativity and really make something of themselves. They got caught up in the limitations of what it means to be from the hood, right? We are not physically limited beings, but there are limitations placed upon us. And if you believe that, colonization will shoot your dreams the fuck down and tell you ain't got no dreams. You can't imagine. There is no imagination for you. You are going to do what the fuck we tell you to do, and that's the fuck it. You are who we say you are.
Right.
Whereas my mother was like, nah, like it was a gospel song, you know, because I grew up both sides of the fence, the gospel and the R&B and the hip hop and. There was a song that said, I might as well think big. Why should anybody think small? I might as well think big if I'm going to think at all. My mom was always telling me that, right? She was saying, that's how you got to think about yourself. That's how you got to live. When I was, she was the one that encouraged me to go to my first poetry slam. She was the one when she saw that was the thing that I was doing, right? She's like, do that, right? Like she didn't shoot my shit down. She could have easily been like, how you going to make money? She was like, you got a talent, and I need you to go, right? My grandmother also very supportive. You got a talent, go ahead, long as you ain't in jail, long as you ain't pregnant or locked up, or you doing something good, we don't get it, but do that. Go to college, right? Like I was the first in my family to go to college, right? Like I didn't have a fucking roadmap. I just was like, something in me said I need to do this and go in this direction, because I'm looking at both examples. I'm looking at the good and I'm looking at the destruction. Right. The energy is used for creation or destruction. I'm looking at both. I'm like, I had mentors. I was blessed to have mentors as well as family support as a young person who was doing poetry, 14, 15 years old in Baltimore City, right? On the poetry mic, open mic circuits. I'm going to Be Free Fridays at 17 years old. I'm doing all of that shit. And then I'm also looking and seeing the influences of like the people who, I got aunts and uncles who was hanging out at Penn North and hanging out at Upton and just, you know, this what they do. This they homies. This is their life, right? Right. Wasted dreams. Uncles who were extremely talented, who could have blew the fuck up, but they got caught the fuck up. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be another failed dream. Right. I didn't want to be the dream deferred. I wanted to be the dream that launched.
That's right.
So I had to follow intuition mostly. It was God and intuition, and just the dreams that were on my soul that said, you can do this, you can go. Just trust your intuition, trust God. And so even if I didn't know that's what I was doing, that's what I was doing. My mom telling me, get the hell out of Baltimore City. How many niggas you know don't ever leave Baltimore City?
A lot.
Family, you know, when my grandmother moved here in 1950s, part of the Great Migration, this was it. This is where they chilled. This was it. We stayed in West Baltimore because the government told us to, because of restrictive covenants, and that was the fuck it. Yeah. People don't even leave their sides of town half the time. My mom said, "Get the hell out of here. You going to college? If you want to go to college out of state, do it." Goucher was the only college I applied to in state. She was like, "Get the fuck out of here, because you know what? We're gonna be doing the same shit when you come back." Not fucking lying. She was not fucking lying. So I was of that generation that said education is the way out. I was of the generation that said, "Oh, you can't be famous in Baltimore.
Yes.
Like, Baltimore ain't gonna be big enough for the dreams that you have. You got to get the fuck out of here." Right. And now I see a bunch of motherfuckers moving to Baltimore for their drink. That's another story. Right. But again, like, that was that time. And so I'm grateful that I was able to go to Massachusetts on a full ride, Amherst, Massachusetts, to Hampshire College. Didn't know nobody, never been to fucking Massachusetts, but I was like, I'm big enough to do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not letting those fears get in the way. You know, when you live in the hood, it's like, I don't know. You're safe. You go where you know that you are gonna be okay. I get it. It's reasons for that. Some of it is hood shit. Some of it is street shit. I get that. But for me, I didn't have those hangups. So it was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to see the fucking world. Fuck you talking about. Right. So I lived in the middle of fucking Massachusetts on a fucking farm for 4 years at a college around a bunch of white people who ain't never seen niggas before. They try to touch my hair and shit. They all that, you know? But I found and discovered more of me. I discovered more of my voice. I even discovered the way of the world, right? The way of the white world. I was able to see and understand how they move, right? Rich motherfuckers. You know, I went to school with actors' children and shit. Like, real rich motherfuckers. And so I'm seeing white supremacy, right? I'm also learning a lot that I wouldn't have learned in Baltimore City public school system. So I'm getting educated by the world and by experience, not just the degree. It's all of it.
That's right.
So then my network is growing. So now that's how I was able to move to New York and be a community organizer fresh out of college. So living in New York City taught me a lot, and I'm grateful that I did 2.5 years. But all of these were little dreams. I always wanted to go to New York as a child. All the Baltimore kids, we like, oh, when we going to New York, we try to turn it. That was the dream. And then I was like, I'm gonna apply to school because that's a practical way to go there. I applied to new school. They gave me shitty aid, so that's why I went to Massachusetts. But the New York dream, I was like, I'm still going to New York. So working as a community organizer in New York was how I was able to live, sustain myself there for 2.5 years. And then I was like, I'm tired of New York. New York is burning me out. Now I'm a fucking alcoholic. I need to get the fuck out of here. So I still was an alcoholic elsewhere, but I was like, New York's energy, for people that haven't lived in New York, it can be very intense, right? Everybody's always on the move. The hustle grind never fucking stops, right? Everybody competing with themselves and each other. It's a rat race. It was too much for me. It's too many motherfuckers, too many people. I'm pissed off. Everybody's pissed off. I ain't got time for that energy. So I was like, now I'm gonna go to California. I always want to go to California. And so I'm like, I'm gonna apply to grad school so I can go to California. That'll be at least, because as spontaneous as I am, I'm also the type of person that's smart. I'm like, I ain't about to go out there and I ain't got shit. Right? Okay, like, put on a plan. Now, granted, there was always a little bit of wiggle room, like a month or so, where I had to like thug it. You know what I mean? My unemployment ran out, right? My food stamp, I'm living off emergency food stamps. I'm staying in somebody's house. I'm couch surfing. I'm doing all the shit that happens when you got a dream. Right. I've been there. It wasn't always glitz and glamour and fucking Micah. Like, I was in some real trenches type spots. Okay. And so, from there, I was in Cali. Now I'm doing the Cali dream. I'm finally doing the California dream that all the East Coast kids want to do. And it was beautiful. I loved every minute of it. The dream brought me back home 10 years ago. Right. And so what I didn't know was going to happen when I got my master's was that I didn't plan on being a professor. Like, I wanted to just be taken legitimately as a writer. So that's why I got the MFA in creative writing. Right. I'm a Black queer writer. Ain't nobody going, I can do whatever the fuck I want, but I know it's going to be harder if I don't. This little paper says you can believe what the fuck I'm saying. Right. Stupid bullshit. But anyways, that, unbeknownst to me, put me in a whole other echelon when I came back home, because now I have a master's and now more positions were opened up to me that previously would have been shut because of the way the system is set up. So now I can be a professor. Right. So series of synchronicities and, just spiritual being in the right place at the right time led to me teaching at Micah at 28 years old at my Saturn's return. Yes. The dream I didn't know was in my heart and on my
Yes.
soul. But God said, you're going to walk in this. Now you're going to be a teacher too. And I said, oh, shit. And so some of the dreams were like physical in that sense of like, I have something on my heart and I've always been a person. If it's on my heart, I already know I'm doing it. If I feel an energy behind it, if I feel that fire, that passion, I'm a fire sign. Like I'm like, I gotta follow that fire. I gotta follow that. So I did. And then that led to other things, which led to other things. And, you know, the poet who turns into the musician, who turns into the filmmaker, who turns into the visual artist. Like, you can't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah. If you can dream it, you can achieve it.
Yeah, even my book, like this is so even making books, and you know this as a publisher, like
I got my copy.
My first book, Al, in the background. My first book was my MFA manuscript from grad school, and it was always a dream for me to have a book,
right?
Poetry, and then, you know, I was fearful around like, oh, agents and you know, who's gonna publish this, and is this good enough to be published? Like all that bullshit we do as artists. Right. And I was like, you know what, fuck all that. I'm about to self-publish. I'm gonna just teach myself how to make a book. Right. Like, so if I'm the type of person, if I don't know how to do something, I want to teach myself how to do it. I want to learn a new skill. Sagittarius shit. We always trying to learn some shit. And so I was like, let me do that. Taught myself how to created a book, put the book out. Right. It took me 5 years to do it because I was scared. But once I got over that hump of fear, it was out. It was out. Everybody loved it. You know, the first book was 4 Wings and a Prayer. That is on Amazon, Kindle, all those things. But my second book, you know, because I never stopped writing. Right. I wanted to, you know, go even bigger. I wanted to be with a publisher, and then the publisher appeared, Homie House Press. And so Not in Service, my latest book, is a book about my life and times on public transit. And I wrote a lot of those poems in that really transitory period of my life, ages 27 and like 34. And it's just documenting all of that. And so look at all the pretty pictures.
Good book, dope book, you guys. Some good poetry.
Thank you.
I can't even think of my favorite poem right now because the title is so long. It's one of my favorite though. But I tell you, it's a great book, and it's just amazing. I'm listening to you, and the only thing I keep thinking about now, like, all this is just from a dream. Mm-hmm. Just a dream. Mm-hmm. You know, just a dream. And so, you know, I love it. I love everything about it. I love the journey. I'm grateful for it. To know that all of that has led to know that I was able to witness part of the journey firsthand, watching you publish Not in Service, watching you bring it into the workshop, and, you know, just, you know, I had to get my signed copy because, you know, I need famous people all around me. I need successful, enriched, famous people all around me because I too. And so I hope everyone who has watched, enjoyed, please make sure you share and but we got special. We going to do something special just because. Just to announce, you guys, you know, Dancer Bar, I'm going to let him plug himself in real quick because this is my guy. I love him to stop.
I've been quiet this whole time.
He has not been quiet the whole time, but he's been a great support to me. We just reconnected after about 2 years or so, and so he just came in real quick because, as you all know, Full Authors Media Network is about to grow. We are all about growing. That's what the logo is about. And so I'm just going to do this real quick just to make it fun. Now I have one.
Unique, this watching for you.
Yeah.
So, we're going to play a quick game.
I love games.
I guess the name of the game is called Black Questions.
I love Black Questions.
This is just a slight promo because he will be doing his own live stream soon. So you guys, he'll be having his podcast. Make sure y'all look out for it. But the question is, which movie features the character Mr. Clark? Now this is a multiple choice. Which movie features the character Mr. Clark? A, Coach Carter. B, Lean on Me. C, Freedom Writers. Or D, Higher Learning. And the answer is
Mr. Clark. Free Mr. Clark. Lean on me, dog. Come on, man. That movie scared the shit out of me, bro.
That was too easy. If I knew he was doing that, I'm like, nah, she's gonna get there with her eyes closed.
Yeah, man, that shit had me scared to go to high school and shit. I was like, is every high school like this?
In
High school
Baltimore,
wasn't even like that. Like it was. I mean, I went to high school with nerds. Like it wasn't like that.
well, yeah, city. So the one thing about city, right? When I was up there, and I was in class 99. When I went up there, it was like nerds, but then there was that hat that was just like, this is why you guys didn't get in poly.
Ah! Don't be shading city like that.
There's a little bit of lean on me in there. Hey, I can't say nothing. I might have been one of them. But anyway, we're getting ready to go into the last segment, Unique. This has been awesome. I knew it was gonna be a great vibe. Once everything, the adversity started, I was like, yes. I was just, I already knew. So make sure you send out the link, please. Anyone watching, send out the link. There's some great info here. I'm getting ready to go into what I leave you with, what is called the mindful thought. And I'm going to give my mindful thought, and then I'll let my guest give her mindful thought, and then she's going to tell you where you can find her and what's next. And you guys make sure you please support. This is a very prominent pillar in our community. And I mean that with everything I say. So
before you start, let me hit this button. Before you start, hold up. Let me hit this button.
I said I need an engineer. I cannot wait till I get a real engineer. I'm telling you, I want all the sound effects, no one like I just see this going to the top.
There you go.
It's an ad. Hold up.
Look, we're working on a budget.
That's all right. It's all coming, all in due time.
Yeah. My mindful thought is dream with purpose. So normally, guys, I come from a quote, whether it's from Buddha or African proverb, and sometimes I even quote the Bible. But this is an Anesti Anna Kim set exclusive. Okay. My mindful thought is dream with purpose. When you're asleep and you're resting, right? Just remember, this is your opportunity to be in touch with destiny. This is your chance to get just a little bit closer to what it is you were here for. And so when you're resting, do it with purpose. Let your dreams come with purpose. Allow your body to go into a state of essence and just do it with purpose. Make sure you do it with the intent to find out exactly what it is you need to set a goal for and put the steps forward to do it. Set the plan. Do it with purpose. And so that is my mindful thought. I want everyone to remember. Dream with purpose. Unique, I'm going to let you give your mindful thought, and then afterwards, please let everyone know where they can follow you, support you, and tell us what's next for Unique the Word.
Already. So, one aspect I did forget to mention is the physical element of dreaming when one goes to sleep. We are in the astral realm. We are in the fourth dimension when we are asleep. It is the only time in many ways that we have access to higher realms without the egoic interruption, right? I've had communication with ancestors in my dream. I've had messages in my dreams. I've had prophetic visions in my dreams, right? Like all of these things are possible if we allow ourselves to rest and just tune in and just, not think that this physical world is all that there is.
That's
right? And so as Black people, we are always divinely connected to source and to spirit. And if we can allow ourselves to take a break from the busyness, we will see that and we will hear that very clearly. And speaking of clearly, I want to leave with a quote that says, "When we see clearly, we behave impeccably out of love and on behalf of all beings." And this quote is from a woman called Sylvia Bornstein. I study Buddhism. I am a practicing Buddhist. And she was talking about the Four Noble Truths. And that is, to her, the essence of that statement. When we see clearly, we behave impeccably out of love and on behalf of all beings. I'm a being of love. I'm not a being of separation.
Right.
And I think we are all going to get there eventually. It is the universe's promise and purpose for us all. So with that said, you can follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm on there at unique.theword. That's UNIQUE.THEWORD. I got a lot of things coming up always, but for one, center stage, myself and my homeboy Kenneth Something, long-standing friend, an amazing poet slam champion, organizer, all around amazing person. We are working on a play together called The Slam. In this play, we have a reading. We're part of a inaugural fellowship that Center Stage is doing called Lab 410, which is celebrating new play works, like new works. And so we've been workshopping this play this time, this spring, and we're gonna have a reading actually on April the 5th. Where it's us and the other two fellows. They're doing like stage readings of our play. So that's the first. It's not the first iteration of the play, but it's the newest iteration. We've been workshopping, and then we want to show it to the people. So that's happening. I'm also featuring at Sound Off Open Mic at Creative Suitland on March 24th.
Okay.
I'm also supporting my students. Shout outs to Community Arts, MFA at Micah. They have a show. Their thesis exhibition in April 25th. So that's not my work, but this is the work of that I support of students. So again, hella shit going on, man. Like good shit. Always, of course, come to my writing workshop.
You gotta come to the workshop.
First Thursdays of every month at the Motor House, 7 to 9 p.m. It is free. It is all levels, all genres, and all ages. So please come through. Aneski is one of the main down homies that be in there setting the energy of the space. It's a beautiful, welcoming space. So those are the things I plug for now. And yeah, see me around town.
Yes, and I'm gonna let my guy, this guy, you gotta let him know where you follow. This guy, let him know where to follow you at.
I go by your boy Dancing Bar. That's dancing with 2 G's, Bar, B-A-R-I. Just follow me on Instagram. Everything else gonna be the same. Tune in.
Y'all already know what it is. If you don't follow him, please do. You might learn how to do a strutter too.
I need to learn. I think I finally got it.
West Baltimore, you right
Already,
here.
I'm surrounded by you guys. I love it. I love it. And it's me, your girl Aneski. I'm getting ready to get out of here. It's been a great show. I can't wait to watch the playback. It's been great. You guys make sure like, comment, subscribe, grow with me. Full Office Media Network. I'm out. I'll see you soon. If not, I'll see you the first Thursday in April.
Already. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This was everything I needed today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Peace.